Hey guys, it is August 2nd, 2024. I am at Eureka Motors, also as we have it on the account, the old Lithia motors. Some of the things that we need to be keeping up with, what I think that we really need to do is kind of set up a plan of attack here where 1 or 2 weeks, well, every time we should be mowing up front, but that really will just take one guy over there taking care of that. What we really kind of need to do is start getting these plants back into the hardscape, into the garden bed areas, and that will be literally around the property. One of the bigger concerns that he has is that we have a lot of weeds growing up around these garden beds, and that they're all just starting to creep out and become a nuisance. It wouldn't be every time, but he wants us to spray the cracks where we see the greens coming through. There are quite a few things, like once that's done flowering, the flax plant over here, once that's done flowering, we should be deadheading those. Of course, some of this stuff is going to have to be taken over time because you can't really do a lot of flax plants in one visit. It just it's time consuming. He was saying that you wouldn't mind getting this fern out of here and giving this some separation so it just doesn't look cluttered. Taking care of the flax plants, making sure we kind of round off these guys here when they're starting to get a little big. He doesn't want people from the outside walkway to be able to pull on plants, so ones like this. I mean, I know we can't really just keep this right back to the hardscape right away without kind of shocking this, but we should slowly get this stuff at least back away from this main walkway here. And then other things that he was not happy about is the way that there's basically a blackberry bush growing out of here. We need to get under here, cut it, and just pull it out from the top. Chris, the GM here, he is big on contact. When I had this route, I was told that they wanted us to come in and ask them to move the vehicles. They may be busy, but if they're busy, then that's on them. If we don't get something mowed underneath a vehicle or taken care of where a vehicle's parked. But for the most part, his number is in the notes. He doesn't like any of this stuff. All of this stuff should be taken out. And I think if we get this on a schedule where we are taking care of beds 1 week and getting it off of here, or getting the crack lines de-weeded, because there's a ton of different things. And we have some over here that have been there for a minute. You know, just random things like that, or if something's not looking nice, then to just, even if we bring it up to him, just to take it out. He didn't really mention this one, but this is kind of looking a little scraggly. I think that we could probably take this one right off at the base, just this one that comes over, since they've already broken it back because it was in the way of the vehicles. Just so you see, so we can get that off of there. And he's aware that like all of this can't get done at the same time, that there'd probably be a week's worth of work if we were to try to tackle it all at once. But he wants us to, work on a plan on how we can get this done and it looking nice every time we leave here. One of the things that I need to talk to Geronimo about is he wants to come up with an idea on how we can reduce the size of this without making it look horrible. But for instance, like this one that's coming out here straight up towards me, he said has gotten quite a bit of a lean, and wanted to know if we could just literally cut it off right here. I told him that I'm fairly knowledgeable with a lot of stuff, but I'm not too knowledgeable on the yucca, so I'm going to talk to Geronimo about that, and also Google it and see, where we can make the cuts on here and still make this look nice. But you know, it's been here for a while. He just doesn't want it. They've had incidences like right here where it'll break off and literally land on a vehicle. So we'll make up some schedule where we'll be hitting the parking lots one week, the front of the building, caring for that one week, the edges of the fence line another week, where we're kind of we're always hitting the mowing up front and making the lawn look good, but we also are keeping up with all these beds because they're starting to fall behind. Another one that he mentioned through our walkthrough, and I also have pictures, is that we need to make sure that we're always getting around all the telephone poles and picking this kind of stuff up here. You know, this is basically one of those conversations where he really likes our service and he likes that we are on the spot fixing stuff when we're asked, but he doesn't want to have to keep calling us for stuff. There is stuff dying. We should probably be doing some trimming on these to make them look better and pulling weeds, making sure that the bark is staying up in there. You could literally use a shovel and just toss it right back up into there. And just to retouch this one more time, making sure on all of these islands that we see that we're keeping it inside. I mean, this is will eventually block the red, and I mean, even though you can see the red line here for no parking fire lane, this will grow over eventually, so we will be making the cuts to get this back into the hardscape. And that just goes for a lot of this stuff. One of the other things is this front area. We need to be staying up with making sure that we're keeping the separation that we need between like the maples and the ferns, and also getting the dead stuff from underneath. And you can see how we cut it. And so we'll just get the dead stuff from underneath to try to give this entryway a little bit more room. This right here, he literally had a customer complain. This is easily maybe 4.5 foot. So we need to make some cuts on here where we can get this up away from it rubbing into customers' heads. And so I think I'll talk to Geronimo and see what we can do. Maybe we can just cut this full one out right at the ground for this side, just to keep it out of the walkway area. And then just cleaning it up, you know, getting some of the dead stuff off of here. It allows it to just pop and look so much better. We can hand prune in. I mean, it's really easy on some of these to just hand prune in some of this dead stuff off of here. And it just makes it look so much better. Thank you.